You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to the show for all those who love the beautiful game of football and who want to improve their English. My name is Damien and I am based in London where the weather has been not too bad recently. We really are in autumn as the leaves are changing colour and the temperature is quite cool here. What's the weather like where you are? Now, apologies for the delay in posting this podcast. I have been really busy at work, as indeed has Damon, the other member of the Learn English Through Football podcast team. And he, of course, is based in Tokyo, Japan. And we'll be hearing from Damon later on in the show as he talks about the recent World Cup qualification match between Japan and Australia. While I will be talking about some language linked to non-league football here in the UK, which also includes a short interview with another non-league fan.
皆さんは languagecaster.com を聞いています。
That message was in Japanese, and we'll have some more stingers or messages from different fans around the world throughout today's show. Try and guess what languages they are.
Bạn đang nghe languagecaster.com.
Okay, let's talk about non-league football. And to help us, here are a couple of words and phrases that might be useful with understanding. Number 1, football pyramid. This describes the football structure in British football with the best teams playing at the top, that's the Premier League, the next best teams in the Championship, and so on, right the way down to level 9. So in total, there are hundreds of different teams around the country. Number 2, amateur football. This is football in which the players are not paid to play. They do it completely for fun. And number 3, tiers. The name for the different levels of football, and divisions is another name for this. That's tiers, T-I-E-R-S. Right, let's talk a little about non-league football. First of all, I will explain a little about what is meant by non-league football before a short interview with a Walthamstow FC fan. And finally, I'll be looking at some language from a recent game that I went to in the 7th tier or level of English football. So, what do we mean when we talk about non-league football here in England? The top division is, of course, the Premier League, and then there are 3 more divisions below that, namely the Championship, League One and League Two. These 3 divisions, or tiers, form the English League, and they all have a promotion and relegation system which decides the teams that will play in each division each season. The first non-league division, that is, one that does not belong to the English League, is the National League, which is like a 5th division, particularly as nearly all of the teams playing in this league have professional players. Below that tier is level 6, which is made up of National League North and South, and each of these divisions has 24 teams in them. At this level of football, some of the teams have professional players, but many of them also only have amateur ones too. They don't receive any money for playing. If we go down to level 7 of the football pyramid, we can see 4 different divisions. The Northern Premier League, Southern Football League Central, that covers the Midlands of the country, Southern Football League South, and the Isthmian League, which covers the southeast of the country. And this is where I saw a game last weekend.
Hi, my name's Sue. I'm a season ticket holder for Walthamstow FC and you are listening to languagecaster.com.
But before I talk about the game I went to see in the 7th tier, here is a short interview we did last season with Sue, who is a Walthamstow Town FC supporter. Walthamstow is in the northeast of London and currently the team is in tier or level 8. And we'd just been to see a game against local rivals Clapton FC. And can you tell people who won't know much about Walthamstow FC kind of a little bit about the club?
So it's a tiny, tiny club. It's been going for actually quite a long time. I think it used to be Leighton FC, going back many, many years. And it's just become more and more popular, I think, during the lockdown, really. When I first went, hardly anyone was there. Now more and more people are there every week.
And what colours do they wear?
They wear blue.
Do they have a nickname?
So they're called the Stags, but the name you'll hear most is the Stow.
Fantastic. Good luck.
Thanks.
I just checked to see how Walthamstow FC are doing this season, and they are currently in 6th place in the Isthmian League North Division.
Hi, my name's Izzy. I'm a fan of Dulwich Hamlets FC, and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
Now, recently I travelled to the south of London to watch Dulwich Hamlet play against Hastings United in the Isthmian League Premier Division, which is the 7th tier of English football. There were over 3,000 fans in attendance, which is bigger than some teams in higher leagues such as League Two. In fact, the attendance was 3,334, which was a capacity crowd, which means that the ground was full. No more fans can come in. There was an amazing atmosphere throughout the game, and despite not playing so well early on, the home side went on to win 3-0, a comfortable victory in front of a capacity crowd. Now I wonder if non-league football is as strong in other countries around the world. Let us know what your local non-league side is and whether you get a chance to go and see them play.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Thanks for that, Damien. Sounds like a really great day out. Kind of normal football, isn't it? Well, I'm going to talk about a different kind of football, World Cup qualifiers. Okay, let's talk about some football language from the Blue Samurai versus the Socceroos World Cup qualifier. And I'll start with those nicknames. Japan play in blue, and the Samurai Warrior is a symbol or image of fighting spirit. So Blue Samurai has become the nickname for Japan. As for Australia, well, they have gone for an animal symbol, the kangaroo, and blended it with soccer to give Socceroos. I suppose that means the kangaroos that play football or something. Anyway, the two teams played an important match this week, part of the World Cup qualifying process. It was played in Japan and ended in a 1-1 draw, which will probably suit the Socceroos Australia. Now, the next football language from this match I want to talk about is connected with own goals, as both goals were own goals, that is, scored by the defending team in their own net. The phrase is turned in or turned into. The first own goal was turned in or turned into his own goal by Shogo Taniguchi. The Japanese player deflected a cross by the Australian Miller into his own goal. The player mistimed his block and the ball went into his own net. The equaliser to make it 1-1 was also an own goal. This time it was an Australian defender that turned a cross into his own net. Notice we can say turn in a cross or turn across in. When we use goal or net, we would usually say turned the cross into his or her own net or goal. So honours even, a draw, but as I said, I think Australia will feel the happiest. The match was away and they only had one shot all game and still got a point. Damien, have you ever turned the ball into your own goal?
Oh yes, I have. Though I think it was more the keeper's fault than mine.
State ascoltando languagecaster.com.
Remember, you can find out more about some of the words and phrases that we've already discussed in today's show, as well as hundreds more football expressions and cliches by coming along to our football language glossary. And if you have any questions or comments about any of the language from today, or indeed any other football language, then drop us an email at admin@languagecaster.com. And don't forget, we also have a football language forum where you can ask and answer any questions you have on the language of football. Spread the word and give us a like or a follow.
Hello, my name is Tracy. I'm a Lowestoft Town FC fan, and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
So that's it for today's show, in which we looked at the phrase non-league football as well as capacity crowd, while Damon also looked at the phrase to turn in when describing an own goal. Don't forget there's a transcript for this podcast with lots of vocabulary support. Enjoy all the football, and we'll be back soon with some more football language. Bye-bye.